Okay. Right. Welcome to the first session of SkilledUp Life HR Volunteer Introductory Training. So we're gonna present this myself and Deimante, and then we have about 10-15 minutes for Q&A at the end. Hopefully others will join as well. So we got a couple of slides. So let me present them. Oh. Sorry, that's not the slide I was looking for. That's the one. Okay. So, so just a little bit about SkilledUp Life. We went live on 1st August 2020. And the first year we focused on what I call the supply side, making sure that we have enough volunteers to entice tech companies to come and create volunteer opportunities. So we achieved that with 24 hours to go on 30th July 2021 with the help of a number of volunteers because our team couldn't do it without them. So the second year we have ambitious targets. We want to build the demand side. So we want to add 100 paying customers. And then we want to also increase the volunteer numbers to 10,000. So that's the plan. So my name is Manoj Ranavira. I'm the founder of SkilledUp Life. Just a brief introduction to SkilledUp Life. We are a free talent marketplace for tech startups. So anyone can, sorry about this. Sorry about that. Anyone can volunteer and gain experience through us. On the other side, we are helping early stage technology companies to tap into those volunteers and survive and find ways to grow. So SkilledUp Life sits between education and jobs. Education alone isn't enough to land a job now. You need experience. And then what SkilledUp Life does is provide those experiences so that you could go outside and get a job or go freelancing. So we have, in order to do this effectively, we have a HR team. We have 4 individuals, Elise, Deimante, Collins, and Yumna. So Deimante is gonna present from here onwards. And then I'll come back at the end to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, so hello again, everyone. I'm Deimante, and I'm HR strategist at SkilledUp Life. And further, I will explore the topic of an HR. So the importance of HR is that companies don't usually consider the HR team as the most important team in the company. It's a shame because HR is critical to the success of every organization, whether it's big or small. What do we do in SkilledUp Life is, first of all, we're creating the opportunity. We're designing the opportunities based on the business needs. Later on, we are sourcing volunteers, onboarding them, training, and monitoring performance. So I will go further more into the details about the recruitment, probably first of all. So HR team has way more people to deal with than just the new volunteers. HR team is dedicated to attracting and selecting the best volunteers for the tech startups. And recruitment is such a complex process because we start with the people who are not volunteers just yet, and we have to attract them, we have to talk to them, and we have to consider whether they are the good fit for the organization. Yeah, if you just stop. Thank you. Thank you. So what do we have? We are creating a successful HR strategy. And in order to develop a successful HR strategy, we have to have a clear picture what business goals are. Therefore, we're closely collaborating with the CEO, the Manoj, and other teams such as marketing team, which are also very crucial. After aligning the business needs with the HR abilities, then we find the opportunities that would SkilledUp Life or any other tech startup in SkilledUp Life organizations would enrich organizational performance. Then we ask our talent acquisition specialists and the marketing team to promote those opportunities and source for potential volunteers so we can then interview them on board, and if volunteers are close to their finish time at SkilledUp Life, then we do the offboarding. We also do volunteer training, and the volunteer training means that we are explaining what the volunteer will need to do during their time in the SkilledUp Life. It depends on which team volunteer is assigned to, and then the team would help for the volunteer to have a good start in the organization. We also do performance monitoring, which is we ask volunteers to conduct daily reports of what they've been doing. We also have weekly meetings where we discuss what needs to be done, where we are at the moment. So we can give the sparring for each other in our teams in order to succeed. Furthermore, we're planning our success. The success planning means that without having a clear plan, we couldn't achieve our goals. Then we're also doing the volunteer offboarding, meaning that when it's time for volunteer to finish their volunteering at the SkilledUp Life, we would ask volunteer for their experience of how it went. We would ask to fill the survey and give testimonials. So we could have also volunteer experience, and then of course we could also improve in the sense of the reply. So if we go further. Thank you. So as I spoke, the strategy of overall organization really depends on the HR and what HR has to, and the HR has to align its goals with the organization and calculate its abilities to help organization and the teams to success. After aligning the business needs, then we fill the opportunities, create the opportunities, and then we ask our talent acquisition and the marketing team to help us out while promoting the opportunities and finding the best people to become volunteers in the SkilledUp Life. Then we interview them on board, and when they're close to finish, we offboard them. For all these procedures, we have created set of HR documents and spreadsheets. So we are aligned in the HR team how to do the procedure step by step, and everyone from the HR team can see it, and so they are always on top of what has to be done after one step to another. We are also available to the new and existing volunteers to help out if they need something, has some questions, or etc. So whenever a new volunteer joins or the existing one has a question, they're always welcome to contact us at the HR team. We also use tools to track the volunteer cycle process, to see the new sign-ups and manage the process of the recruitment. Such tools as Trello board, and we also use Google platforms to have conversations with each other to keep the engagement of the volunteers, and just to see where's everyone at and if we can help one another. Yeah. So here's the detailed volunteer cycle as I spoke about. So first of all, we identify the number and the role of volunteers that we need. We see the opportunities that we might be missing and the ones that we need more people in. And then we work on promoting those opportunities and finding the best fit for them. Then we post the opportunities. After identifying, we create the volunteer ad, and we post them on SkilledUp Life website. We have a standard template, but of course, every position needs new adaptment. And we are in close collaboration with Manoj to know what's needed for exact position as well. Furthermore, we source the applicants, and we source them in accordance to their openness and their skills, so we could find the best fit for the opportunity. Yeah. After we source the volunteers, then if we see the ones that are potential ones, we send them pre-qualification questions, which would mean that we find how motivated the person is to join the SkilledUp Life, how much he's willing to spend time on delivering tasks to SkilledUp Life. And then once we get the questionnaire, the answers from the questionnaire back, then we see if this is the right fit. If it is, then we do the interview. During the interview, we ask clarifying questions, and then we try to feel the gut of if we think that this is the right fit for our organizational culture. If it is, then we send the agreement to the volunteer, and the volunteer signs up the agreement and starts its volunteering position depending on when is the availability, whether it's from Monday or just right away. So once the volunteer signed the agreement, we start the onboarding process. During the onboarding process, we have several video meetings where we show what tools we're using, what programs are we working with. We assign them to the different Google platforms and chats where he can later on explore the subject or the tasks with its teammates. So the training starts at this point if it's needed. So the teammates, whether it's marketing team or HR team, would help the volunteer to feel how the process goes in and to understand the programs that we're using and what tasks he or she will be assigned to. So then the monitoring comes in, which I already spoke about. This is the daily reports and the weekly meetings with the team members. And at the end of the time of the volunteer cycle, if I can say that, when the volunteer after 3 months or a bit earlier, we start to ask volunteer for testimonials and the surveys in order to identify the issues that we might have had during the time, or the good things that the volunteer experienced, and if he or she gained more experience and what kind of experience the opportunity have given to the volunteer. So that our success depends on the volunteers, and volunteers' success depends on us probably as well. We want to ensure that every volunteer is happy with its position and is working towards his goals and working towards our goals. So before we do the offboarding, we have to understand the success, and we have to understand if this position have actually created success to the SkilledUp Life and any other tech organization, or if we need to focus on changing the opportunity a little bit. And then the offboarding comes in when the term ended. We, as I already said as well, we asked to provide testimonials, and we provide testimonials as well about how the volunteer has been working with us and what we've achieved together with the volunteer. And then we also provided recommendation letter, as well as LinkedIn recommendations. Yeah. So what the successful volunteer should be ready to do for us. So is everything fine? I hear some noises in the background. Hello?
Hello, yeah, yes, can hear you.
Should I continue?
Yes, please.
Okay, so the volunteer commitment. We expect every volunteer to be with us at least 1 hour a day and to deliver its tasks. And that would be, the length of the process would be the 3 months. It's the best to ask for 1 and more hours a day from Monday to Friday for 3 months, just because we need to have daily updates of what we've been doing and what we have achieved. Then we can success in our goals as a SkilledUp Life. We have the weekly team meetings, Mondays. Normally it's Mondays. Sometimes we do it Tuesdays as well, but it really depends on our availability as well. We submit the daily reports, and this is basically what we want from the volunteer: to be active, to work every day at least 1 hour, to have the weekly meetings with its team members, and submit the daily reports so we can measure the performance and the succession that we're achieving in the long run. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much, Deimante. So, oh, good, we have a few more people who are here. So we got Anastasia, Patricia, and Osaji. Do you have any questions? Do you want to discuss anything? Also would be good to understand, I think Patricia is working with Kaya, and I think Osaji is working with Compira. Anastasia, are you working with anyone through SkilledUp Life? Please unmute yourself. I think you are all muted. Okay, while Anastasia comes online, Patricia and Osaji, do you have any questions? How, what's the process you have adapted within Kaya and Compira?
Yeah, I want to ask, the monthly, weekly meetings, at what time does it hold? Like what time?
So what we explain is how it works with us, and then what we are proposing for you to do is to take what's working for us and adapt it for your own organization.
Yeah,
So,
it is a recommendation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you could, Osaji, you are working at Compira, so you need to discuss with your team, with Bram as well, to decide whether there's whether it would make sense for you to have a weekly meeting, so you understand the process. Now, I think you also have a person called Pumi, isn't it, Osaji?
Is that?
Do you work with Pumi?
Yeah, pay me. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
So at the moment, is Pumi doing most of the work on SkilledUp Life?
Yeah, she is. I just want to start. I'm actually new.
Okay. So what we were describing today is that is for you to basically do everything that need to be done on SkilledUp Life, working with, in your case, working with Pumi. So
Right.
in a similar manner to where Collins, Deimante and Elise, and also we have Yumna as well, working with me, because obviously I'm using SkilledUp Life. In the case of Compara, it will be probably be Pumi, but also your CEO Ram is using it as well. So for example, yesterday Ram was discussing with me about the need to have a UI designer. So obviously that hasn't been communicated to you or Pumi, because he went and did it there and then. So, and when I went back and looked at the opportunity, what he did was he relisted a very old opportunity, which does not follow the template that we recommend. The reason that we recommend a template for opportunities is that based on our experience, what we recommend has a higher chance of getting attention. Okay,
All right.
so I think it would be good if you can have weekly meetings with your rest of the Compara team, just to understand what the requirements are. Then you could follow the guidelines or the process that Deimante explained, to actually source the right candidate and bring them on board to the team.
All right. I want to ask, when she was explaining about the templates and all that, is where can I get? Is there a template? Are there examples of samples of templates on SkilledUp Life?
Yes. So let me quickly show you. So this, if you go to the footer, you have here, where's that, template for opportunities.
All right.
Okay. So there's a brief about, this was put together some time back, why the opportunity need to be split. But if you actually look at it, there used to be, there's actually a, okay. So what we're also saying is here, here's an example, right? So this is actually, I need to update this. This is a good, so if you look at, let's look at a recent template. So if you look at this particular opportunity, this is following the template that we are recommending. I need to go back and update that blog post. So there's a small section about the company, because remember, you want to excite the volunteer. This is not just about doing something, they want to also do something of interest. So you got to excite the company. Then you could talk about very briefly about what the opportunity is, what your needs are, what are the activities that the volunteer need to perform, what sort of experience will they gain. There seems to be a duplicate here. And as a result, you will get endorsement, which will help you to get a job afterwards. And there's also a disclaimer, because volunteering does not give you any cash in return or any compensation. So it's very important to have this disclaimer. So I'll take an action against me to go and update this section, because it's a little bit old. In addition to that, we have created a new knowledge base. So you could also see some of the frequently asked questions. On the volunteer side, we still need to develop that. On the company side, we've written quite a bit. There you go. Publishing more volunteer opportunities, etc. So I'll come back to you with once I updated that section.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Then what, I mean,
If
this
I
session
can
is, sorry, go
add
on.
something. You can also add a note if you need a volunteer who would have at least some experience in the field. For example, HR, or if it's marketing, then maybe CEO experience. So some kind of experience, maybe certificate or a few months of working in the field. So as a note in the ad, you can add that. So then you would have a volunteer who would know that he needs to be, how do you say, that he would need some experience to work for this position. If that's clear.
Okay, Patricia and Anastasia, you are very quiet. Do you have any questions? I think you are all muted, so you can unmute. And Deimante and I are here to help.
I guess no questions.
Yes, so I'll what I'll do is I'll reshare the process and we can just talk about it. And please, please disturb us if you have a question. Let me.
If there will be any questions occurring later, you can also contact me on LinkedIn, and I can try helping you with the recruitment process.
So again, here it's worth taking a look now. I think you are the only, Osaji and Patricia, you are the only HR volunteer in your respective organization. What we have done is that when we started with just Elise, but then realized that it's actually a lot more work just for one person to handle. So we, Elise then, with my help, went and sought out a few other volunteers. So we have 3 more. And what we realized is that HR is quite important because it is not a simple task. You got to find the right individuals, bring them on board, train them, and then start working with them and get results. So then Deimante joined, Collins joined as well. So Collins focusing more on the recruitment side. And then we recently had Yumna join in as well. So, you might feel, once you get up to speed that you alone might not be have the enough time to do an effective job. So then, you probably want to talk to your companies and see whether you can hire a few more HR volunteers to help you. It depends on the level of volunteers the company is going to have. In our case, we have, I think, 11 volunteers all together. And we need probably about 10 to fill various other tasks. So we have quite an effective HR team. So that's one thing to consider. And then if we look at, what Deimante explained, there's a lot of work involved here, because it's not just asking someone to come and volunteer. You want, both parties need to gain a benefit. The volunteer needs to learn and get real experience. and you can only get real experience by doing. So once you start doing, you will probably feel that actually I need I need few other people to help me because there's so much to do. So while our team has been with me for, I think Ellie started in middle of August, for some time, we still have a ton of things to do. So this is, this is only an introductory session. So we might have a few other sessions to go into depth, especially about the tools we use, the templates, and the process itself. Because half an hour is not enough, and we also need to know from your side what's the help you need to help your respective organizations. Do you have any questions, Patricia?
No questions.
So how are you? Have you started work with Kaya?
Yeah, I started 1st October.
Okay. So what type of work are you doing with them?
At the moment, we're still trying to find volunteers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you just waiting for them to apply, or are you going online and searching through the volunteer profiles?
The RAM posted some vacancies.
Right.
Then the ones who applied, we've contacted them. We're yet to interview.
Okay.
Yeah, but the process is a bit slow. That's what I'm saying.
It takes a lot of time, I agree, to find a good fit for the organizations.
Yeah, but we'll get there. I'm still learning.
Yes. So so this is just a introductory session. So what we need to next do is to work out saying what help do you need. So you can always get in touch with us.
Okay.
What we'll do is we'll drop you an email afterwards. So with Deimante, Deimante, do you want to take the lead on this with following up?
Sure. If you have any questions, you can just contact me on LinkedIn or SkilledUp Life email, and then I can try helping you out of what needs do you have, and see how can I help you.
Sorry?
I just said that if you need any help, you're always welcome to contact me on LinkedIn or SkilledUp Life email that Manar will send you later on, and then I'll try to help you out however I can.
Thank you. That will be great.
Okay. So we got about another 6 minutes. I'm happy to. We are both happy to answer any questions you have. What sort of problems you come across when maybe setting up the interviews, or do you send any pre-qualification questionnaires to them before you interview?
At the moment, we needed like urgently before we start doing that. So we just wanted maybe a startup team. The ones that I contacted, I just had schedule an interview with them to have a chat and see what they can bring on the table.
Okay, but do you send like a number of questions before the interview?
No, we don't.
Okay. So one of the things we are doing is we send, is it 4 questions we send, Deimante?
It's now 6 questions. So as you see that we also evolving, and we found out the 4 questions that we had, like if the person has some experience, how is he motivated to join, and how much time can he volunteer or she volunteer during the day. These questions were the main ones, and also the ones that if a person is having the access to the internet and the computer daily. So these are the main like basic knowledge that we need before we start the interview process. So we need this basic information, and then during the interview we find more details about the person, like more details about the experience and where the person is from, and just engaging into the conversation and following up with whatever questions we feel like is necessary.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea is that if those questions, the answers to those questions are not good enough, then we do not go into the interview stage. So we try, because the interview take, I don't know, Collins, how long does it take? Is like half an hour?
Yes, roughly half an hour to 25 minutes to half an hour.
Yeah, so we don't want to waste our time or the volunteers' time if there's no fit. So the pre-qualification questionnaire help us to assess. So for example, in the past, people have applied for content marketing. So if the individual has never written anything, it is a bit difficult to gain the, that individual helping us. So in those situations, we have rejected taking the individual to the interview stage because there's no previous experience whatsoever. So with content marketing, I don't want to necessarily see a well-refined blog post or anything, but I need to have some idea of whether this individual can write. So if the individual can't write very well, it's not us, we can't provide the experience. So the individuals first probably need to learn by taking a course. So you could filter out individuals rather than just have interviews just because somebody applied. So that's a benefit of these questions before the interview. And then when you have the interview, you already have some basic understanding of the individual, and then you can ask a bit more about, and it's also important that during an interview, if you feel like this person is not actually going to commit, and if you get that gut feeling, then you probably need to listen to that, because in some cases the people, the volunteers do not deliver, and it's just a waste of time on both parties. So recently we had a really good individual came on board, and after a week suddenly stopped, no communication at all. And it's really bad from our side, because we committed time and we welcome him to the team, and we onboarded, and then suddenly the individual stopped, and not even a reason given, or even told us that he's going to stop. So you want to, with the questions up front, and also during the interview, you got to get a sense of a feeling whether this individual is going to deliver for 3 months. So don't be upset to say no to people, because the companies are providing experience, providing the opportunities, but they also don't want to be, just people come on board and not doing anything and just wasting time, because the whole operation has to be efficient. Both parties need to gain something. We got 1 minute. Deimante, do you want to bring closure to this, please?
I just want to say that it's okay that sometimes the process takes time, the recruitment process and finding the new volunteers. The most important is that you find the people who would actually be engaged in the position and who would actually be ready to deliver. So it's better that the recruitment process would take longer time, because then, as I would second Manoy saying that Otherwise, the company wastes its time because they take any volunteer on board and the volunteer is not delivering. So we want to have volunteers on SkilledUp Life and the SkilledUp Life tech companies to be ready to work, to volunteer, and to be ready to deliver the results.
Okay, thank you very much, Patricia and Osaji, for coming. I missed the name of the other person, but thank you so much. We'll make this record available and also email you about our details so you can contact us. Thank you, and have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Bye.